Oi! Huh? Do a top list!
About what?
So yeah, I'm trying to do more on my channel, so welcome to the 5 best video game openings. In no particular order. Like an opening theme to a TV show, video games have openings that are used to pump you up for the game, either by introducing you to a mystery of the game's story or showcasing the characters you can play as, and many more things going on. In this video, we'll be looking at 5 really good video game openings that entice the player to want to dive into the game. And if you guys like the video, let me know what your favorite video game openings are, and you might see them in another opening list like this. Press start! Opening up this video, we've got one of the most interesting video game crossovers in history. Kingdom Hearts, taking characters from both Disney and Final Fantasy and blending them together into a very fun and action-packed real-time RPG, even though the story can get quite confusing at times. We open with a bit of dialogue from our main character Sora.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real? Or not?
And already the audience gets a feeling of what we're seeing is a dream, and the imagery that follows reinforces that. We also get introduced to the main characters of the game, Sora, Riku, and Kairi, giving the player a clue to what their relationship is. All of this is accompanied with the iconic song, Simple and Clean. It's the first song you hear in the game, and frankly it adds to the dream scenery that we're witnessing. And it matches up with what we're seeing on the screen with the tune and melody, although the lyrics are a bit eyebrow-raising. Kind of goes against the whole dream motif, but it's just the lyrics and doesn't detract too much from what the player's seeing. Now we just need the 3rd damn installment. Get here, goddammit! Continuing on the RPG hype, we come to the animated opening of Tales of the Abyss. And right off the bat, the moment you access the game, you're treated to a mixture of guitar and drum that wakes the player up. And depending on what version you got, you're treated to an instrumental and rendition of the song, Karma, for the English version, or if you're wanting to play the original Japanese, you get the original lyrics. Personally, I prefer the English version since we're treated to more guitar, which adds to the action on screen, as we see our main character Luke jumping from a plane, attacking monsters with musical scores flying around him. Only in Japan! This opening has a strong presentation, with it being well animated and showcasing what the characters are that will have access to the game, whether it be through their personalities, how they fight, or even plot relevance in the game. It's a good opening when you can showcase characters and interaction without actually conveying a single word said by said character. It also teases the player with scenes of what could possibly happen in the story, leaving questions as to how they get to that point and if it's possible to avoid it. In contrast to the previous 2 entries, we come to L.A. Noire.
A city on the verge of greatness. A new type of city, based not on the man, but on the automobile.
An action-adventure game taking place in the late 1940s where you play as Detective Cole Phelps. As I said, this opening is a stark contrast to the previous 2 entries, which have more action-packed openings, and were treated to a jazz song with a narrator talking over various scenes.
A city where a man's home is his castle. A quarter acre of the dream made possible by victory.
This is to emulate the old-school detective noir films, giving a small bit of insight as to what the story will be like, leaving people to guess what will happen in the story. While not as iconic as other openings, the fact that it emulates the film noir genre, and since this is my list, I say it's on here because I love film noir. If there's one series I grew up with that was a niche game series, was the Goemon video games. If you're not familiar with the series, you follow a young ninja based on the real-world ninja thief Goemon, and the series is known for its quirky humor. While the states have gotten a number of Goemon's titles, the game which this opening is playing from never saw a stateside release. From what I could gather, the reasoning for this was because Working Designs, a now defunct company, was attempting to bring the game over, but closed its doors in 2005 and couldn't do so to bring it over. There are rumors that say that Sony squashed the game's North American release due to subpar graphics of the game, but rumors are just that. Rumors. Take them with a grain of salt. Now we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about the actual opening. Like with Tales of the Abyss, we're greeted with an animated opening, and I have to say, as a sucker for animation, this really caught my eye. And while it starts off with the traditional Japanese tones, then it quickly transforms into an awesome guitar and rock theme as the action of Goemon fighting against a large clay army on his own, literally smashing them to pieces, fills the screen. Throughout the opening, we're also greeted to a plethora of characters, redesigns of mainstays of the series, as well as introducing us to possibly boss characters, and as a tangent, I love the character designs that are going on here with them, especially the enemies having a robotic look that's kind of foreign in the Edo period. Good music, good animation, wrap the two together and you got yourself an amazing opening. A shame we didn't get the game here in the States. And finally, the last entry, let's talk about the opening to one of the best hack-and-slash games of the PlayStation 2 era, Devil May Cry 3.
You've heard of it, haven't you? The Legend of Sparta? When I was young, my father would tell me stories about it.
We're greeted to the characters Dante and Virgil fighting atop a rooftop, with their fight happening so fast that they're actually able to knock the rain away. As this is the third entry into the series, returning players would be intrigued by the fight involving the demon hunter who loves pizza, all the while getting a new narration of the Legend of Sparta and the backstory of the game that can introduce new players to the series.
Long ago, in ancient times, a demon rebelled against his own kind for the sake of the human race.
It matches the action on the screen with the fight between brothers with an angelic chorus playing in the background.
Though the same blood of their father flowed through their veins, the two battled each other fiercely like archenemies.
And then we see Dante get stabbed through the stomach by Virgil. And we're met with a supposedly gruesome end to Dante, ending with a phone ringing.
But in the end, only one was left standing.
This opening has a subtle, epic feeling to it, with the music adding to the sword fight we see on the screen, and the narration giving us good backstory and allows us to get involved into the world. And those are my 5 epic openings to video games. If you guys want to see another list like this, let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to give me your suggestions. Who knows, you might see one in a future video. I'm MangaKamen, thanks for watching, and remember to examine your fandom.